This is Blaze Templar with the first battle that I had in the IPL. I'd like to give a big shout out to the head honcho because he actually helped edit a lot of this stuff, which is kudos, definitely amazing, and I kind of need to step it up. Hopefully, the alternative computer I just recently got, mostly set up now, will be able to handle things like XSplit, etc. Hopefully, I can do some streams and all that. But we're not here to talk about that right now. We're here to talk about the IPL match. And in this case, I was facing off against the Cleveland Krookodiles in this IPL doubles format, which has been a lot of fun. Now, before I begin, I'd like to mention doubles is really not my strength. I prefer singles. I do a lot of OU, UU, not so much UU and Gen 6, but a lot of Ubers this generation. So doubles really hasn't been a format I've paid attention to. I'm even better with rotation, so you can see doubles is something I've spent very little time on. But regardless, I'll do what I can, and despite the fact that I'm not really a doubles player, I'm here to win. So let's see if I can actually pull off a win against the Cleveland Krookodiles. The Nebraska Noiverns team for this matchup I decided would be Deancey, Mamoswine, Zapdos, Amoonguss, Hitmonchan, and Wheezing. Unfortunately, I decided to be a little tricky with this, I should say, with my Amoonguss. I decided not to run Giga Drain, mainly because I was like, you know what, the biggest threats on his team are that Landorus and the Charizard. If I can be sneaky and take him out with a foul play, that would be absolutely delicious. So that's kind of what my thoughts were going on in here. So anyway, I decided to lead off Mamoswine and Deancey, mostly because I had a feeling he'd probably lead Landorus, and I'm running Choice Scarf Mamoswine, meaning I can easily take this thing out before it hits me, and he's scarfed too, which is actually really common in doubles, but my Mamoswine can easily take the Earthquake because it's half damage being doubles, and just destroy with an Icicle Crash, but I don't want to stay in. With either Pokemon, they really aren't set to deal with these two. But Zapdos and Amoonguss, it's a good combination. Unfortunately, like I said, I'm not running Giga Drain, and he gets an immediate burn, so my idea of using Foul Play against some of his Pokemon being really cheeky is literally ruined the first turn that Amoonguss comes in. But regardless, I decide Zapdos. It's carrying the Heat Wave, so I should be able to fry this Ferrothorn, no problem. Unfortunately, Protect, which makes sense, it's fair, but my other Pokemon goes for the Spore. Amoonguss just wants to put something to sleep, and so we're doing alright here. I mean, we are up 1, and his biggest physical attacker that I can think of right now is asleep, so I'm in pretty good shape. Anyway, Zapdos just keeps going for the Heat Wave. He just hard switch into Charizard, which was a good choice on his part. But at this point, I need to make a key play, so I decide I'm going to go Wheezing here, just in case he decides to go for an attack and my Deancey can't deal with it. Surprisingly, though, Diamond Storm one-shots Mega Charizard X. I did not see that coming. Thankfully, the Sacred Fire misses. Unfortunately, it didn't hit the Entei, so I guess it kind of is fair there. But this turn I decided just go for the Protect and Sludge Wave. That would have done a lot of damage to me, but thankfully I do get the poison on the Vaporeon, so it's working out okay for me because now I'm starting to wear it down, forcing it to go for Recover or whatever it's carrying. Wish, probably. So I decide here I need to get back to the team that deals really well with these two, or so I think. Unfortunately, it turns out that Oxygen over there is the hydration set, which is incredibly annoying because the poison is completely removed and he's healing back up. Since I don't have Giga Drain, I can't really double team with the Discharge plus Giga Drain on Oxygen, so killing this thing is going to be a royal pain in my neck, especially since Oxygen is carrying the Icy Wind, which will start slowing things down. Not that it matters that much. Most of my team is a slow, bulky type. But I did predict him to switch here, so I did go for the Spore. It doesn't pay off because it just wakes right back up, and that is incredibly annoying. But this part of the match really does get really stally, and it's incredibly frustrating. Despite the fact I am up 2, these two really do work well to wall me at the moment, unfortunately. So I kind of have to sit here and keep on hitting. The Toxic is annoying, but Zapdos does have Roost, and I don't really plan on leaving Zapdos in turn after turn after turn, so it's not a big deal. But this turn I decided I'm just going to go for the Heat Wave. Or, no, do I discharge again? Or do I actually Heat Wave? I can't remember. It's been a little while since I've done this match. A few days. Yes, I do go for the Heat Wave, which is definitely the best play I could have made. Just unfortunately, Vaporeon is basically back up to full, but Hitmonchan is in the house, ready to take some names, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Drain Punch knocks off 60% from the Ferrothorn. When do you see a Hitmonchan do so much damage to a Ferrothorn? Basically never. Unfortunately, he does get a crit Scald, which means Zapdos is going to go down way too quick. I really needed its discharge to help deal with this blasted Vaporeon. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out in my favor, and my switch in is unfortunate because now I have to go for the Protect just to try to deal with the Entei. And my Hitmonchan basically is just going to sit here, keep on Drain Punching Entei, hoping I don't get Scald Burned, because if that happens, I'm in a world of hurt. But with Hitmonchan on the field, I should be able to take out Entei, but I need something to take the Sacred Fire, and I decided Weezing's my best play to take it because it's physically defensive, Sacred Fire being a physical fire move, and plus, it doesn't mind burn compared to the other Pokemon. So that's what I decided to go for. Hitmonchan thankfully hasn't gotten burned. It would be really difficult if he had, but regardless, in comes the Gastrodon, his last two Pokemon being this really bulky Vaporeon and this really bulky Gastrodon, and now I have to figure out a way to get around them. But thankfully, Weezing is carrying the Pain Split, which means between the recovery of Black Sludge and Pain Split, I can basically keep Weezing in indefinitely, and with Haze, he won't be able to set up, which is why I decided to carry Haze on Weezing, just so things like this, the Storm Drain shenanigan can't go. Unfortunately, I do lose Hitmonchan. Now, at this point, if I would have gone Mamoswine and Earthquaked, I probably would have taken out Gastrodon. So, misplay on my part. Instead, I go Amoonguss, which means he's going to be able to recover back up, and there's nothing I can do about it except putting it to sleep. So, that's unfortunate. And worse yet, I critical hit myself and get neutral damage on everything else, so that was kind of pointless. But regardless, everything on his team is asleep. Well, it was until Hydration woke up the Vaporeon again. And so now things are looking a little bit difficult. Most of my team is burned, and I really don't have a reliable option to deal with this thing. And so I'm kind of in a tizzy at the moment, not sure how I'm going to deal with this. So, like I said, if I'd just gone into Mamoswine, this would have gone a lot quicker. I would have been able to take out Gastrodon and then just ganged up on Vaporeon and worn it out. It would have forced him to keep on going for rest hydration, and as soon as the rain wore out, he'd be done. At least, that's what it could have been. However, I do finally decide, you know what, Mamoswine needs to come in, get some residual recovery lowered by going for the knockoff. Haze does reduce the stats, which is essential, and he does recover there, so that's something. Rain does stop here. So, yeah, not a lot happened that turn, except I did get Mamoswine in safely. I knock off the leftovers from the Vaporeon as it sets up the rain again. Pain Split, get my health back up on Weezing, and then lose Mamoswine to yet another Scald. This is starting to feel like a very difficult match, shall we say. Regardless, I do need to go into Diancie here, and I'm kind of using it as bait at the moment. So I do Protect, as he does go for the double Scald. Storm Drain, however, activates taking in the Water attack instead, which is really threatening now, and I need to get Weezing back in and haze off the boost. So I decide I'm going to go switch Diancie back out, go into Weezing, and go for the haze. He does rest, okay, I figured he would. Now, I should be able to take a +1 Scald, right? Oh, maybe not. So that does put me in a really threatening situation, and I am really quite worried at this point. Oxygen is doing okay HP-wise. I mean, Now that it doesn't have residual, that's a bit of a problem for it, but I need to Diamond Storm here because at this point I really don't have an option. Thankfully I do get a +2 defense boost, not that it really matters, and the speed drop really won't matter at all. Now I need to hope I can live a Scald, except he does decide to Earth Power Amoonguss instead, which is huge because now I can put Gastrodon to sleep, and this puts me in a much, much safer location because now I can Diamond Storm again, take out the Vaporeon, and this means at this range, Gastrodon has to deal 2-on-1, and not that it really matters. Amoonguss is almost dead too with the burn damage. He's like down to 4%. But Dancy can just go for the Moonblast. Hopefully get the special attack drop. It doesn't happen. However, it does 48%. Plus the Sludge Bomb's another 14%. He can't take it even with the leftovers recovery, which means the next Moonblast will finish things off, and we will have a good game. It was incredibly close, 1-0 victory in the Nebraska Noiverns' favor. Cleveland Krookodiles, it was a great game, and we'll have to see how things go on the next match. I'm not even sure who I'm playing next. I'll have to look that up. But hopefully this week I will have a team builder up sometime like Wednesday-ish, I'm kind of planning. So until then, I'll see you on the next IPL. Later.